Greetings, River Lady here, and I'm still working on my videos about taking care of your herbaceous perennials in early autumn. And this video is going to be about peonies. What's not to love about peonies? They have beautiful foliage, they're long-lived. Some peony plants have lasted over 80 years. They're easy care, and they come in a variety of gorgeous jewel tones. This is my Riches and Fame, which I put in a few years ago in honor of my sister's birthday. Peonies were her favorite flowers, so a lot of the bushes that I have in my gardens I planted in her honor. This white one is Duchess de Nemours, which I put in the garden April 2020 to mark my sister's passing. As you can see in this photo, my peonies were in pretty good shape. My leaves were dark green, they were glossy, they were clean, and I had some pretty good blossoms. However, as the summer progressed, this was a really tough summer for a lot of my plants. Very humid, very dry, very hot, and my peonies suffered. And I got hit with serious powdery mildew. And I know, the duck's laughing, like, ha ha ha. Okay, back to my powdery mildew. So I received a question: what do you do in early autumn when your peony looks like this? And the answer to that question is, you need to cut it back pronto. As I mentioned, I think I mentioned it, if your herbaceous perennials are in good shape, you don't have to cut them back. But if you have herbaceous perennials that have situations like this, you definitely want to cut them back. The process for cutting back your peony is exactly the same as cutting back your garden phlox. Especially if you have powdery mildew, you want to keep a bucket nearby or a trash bag so you can take the stems and put them directly into the bucket. Don't put your diseased, stems on the ground, because you'll risk adding powdery mildew spores to the ground. Here you can see that the powdery mildew just coats the stem and it just rubs right off. And that's why we don't want to put the damaged or diseased stems on the ground. Okay, so all we're going to do is you're just going to get in there at the base of the plant and cut away. And when you're done, of course, you're going to clean your pruners. And I also throw my gardening gloves in the wash and wash them with hot water. Okay, so we're going to get in there and we just snip that away. Look at how fast I did this. This is such an easy process. The last thing you need to do before we clean up the area is get down as close to the ground as you can. So now that we've taken all the leaves and stems off, we can actually see that we can come down a lot closer to the ground and take off these little stems that have powdery mildew on them. And then we're just going to rake up the area around the plant, which is exactly what we did with our garden phlox. Just get all the loose soil and the spent mulch that have the powdery mildew spores in it away from the plant, and that's also going to go in your trash bucket and into your trash barrel that your town collects, or into your trash bags. The stems that you still see sticking out of the ground will eventually brown up, and you'll be able to just pull them right out of the ground, away from the crown of the plant, once you get a hard frost and the ground freezes. So don't worry about them. So just do your best to clean up as much as you can around the plant. You will be going in and doing another cleaning once you get a hard frost and it's time to put your gardens to bed for the winter. The American Peony Association does not recommend that you feed peonies in the autumn, but it does recommend that you put down and work in some compost. I am using mushroom compost, and I'm just working it in and around the plant out at the drip line. You can see I'm not going in where the crown is. I'm out around the plant, because by putting it out there, and that's where I'm going to water the plant, I'll help to nourish the root system, which will help the plant establish a really good, well-developed root system. The last thing we're going to do is water our plant, and I did forget to mention this in the video on garden phlox, so I do apologize. We don't have to water our plants as often when it's autumn, because if we've taken the leaves and the stems off, the plants aren't losing that much water to evaporation or what's called transpiration, so we can probably just water them about once a week. If your autumn is wet, if it's rainy, you don't have to bother keeping the plants on a weekly watering schedule. Go with what Mother Nature is giving you. When we get a hard frost, we're going to go into the gardens again, and we're going to clean them up one last time, and then we'll put some salt marsh hay or fresh mulch around the drip line of our plants to help protect the roots during the winter. And this does it for this video on herbaceous perennials, caring for your peonies in early autumn. If there are other herbaceous perennials you would like me to do videos on, please let me know by posting in the comments. So I'll leave you with a shot of my beautiful river and my little chickadee here. And I thank you for watching. Please stay safe. And this is River Lady saying, happy gardening.